You know they're not going to text back. You know exactly how this ends. And yet you check your phone anyway. You replay the one good moment they gave you over and over like it means something. Somewhere deep down, you already know the truth. But knowing hasn't made you stop. Everyone around you says the same thing. Just let go. Just move on. As if your heart came with an off switch nobody told you about. But what if the reason you can't let go isn't weakness at all? What if your brain is doing something so specific, so well documented that scientists can watch it happen in real time on a screen? Today, we're breaking down why loving someone who can't love you back isn't a character flaw. It's a trap your own nervous system builds without asking your permission. Welcome back. Let's get started. In psychology, this isn't simply called heartbreak. There's a sharper term, limerence, an involuntary state of intense romantic fixation, triggered by uncertainty, not affection. Notice that word. Uncertainty, not love returned, not consistency. The less certain you are of someone, the tighter your brain grips on. That sounds backwards, but your brain doesn't run on logic here. It runs on reward prediction. Think of your brain like a slot machine addict. A machine that pays out every time gets boring fast. But one that pays out randomly, sometimes nothing, sometimes a small win, keeps you pulling that lever for hours. Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement, and it produces the strongest, most addictive behavior pattern ever measured in a lab. Now replace the slot machine with a person who texts you good morning for 4 days, then disappears for a week. Someone who gives you just enough warmth to keep hope alive, and just enough distance to keep you desperate for more. You're not weak for getting hooked. You're running headfirst into one of the most powerful conditioning patterns known to behavioral science. And here's the part that should unsettle you. Neuroscientists have scanned the brains of people in this exact kind of unrequited attachment, and the regions that activate are nearly identical to those active during substance withdrawal. Dopamine floods your system, not when they show you love, but when you're anticipating the possibility of it. You're not addicted to them. You're addicted to the maybe. But to understand why you specifically fell into this, we have to go back further than this relationship. Take a moment and be honest. Did you grow up with a caregiver whose warmth felt unpredictable, affectionate one day, distracted the next? When a child experiences love as something they have to earn or chase, their nervous system builds a template. Love feels like uncertainty, connection feels like effort. This is called anxious attachment, and it isn't a flaw. It's an adaptation. A young version of you learned that vigilance and chasing occasionally brought warmth back. Your nervous system kept the strategy and carried it into adulthood, activating automatically whenever someone feels just out of reach. Familiar to a nervous system often gets mistaken for safe. So why can't you just accept it and move on? Because acceptance requires your brain to process this as a loss, and as long as there's uncertainty, there's still a chance. And as long as there's a chance, your dopamine system keeps you in the game. This is why closure feels so necessary. It's not really about needing an explanation, it's about needing your nervous system to finally register that the possibility is closed so it can stop searching for a reward that was never coming. So how do you actually get out of this loop? Not by forcing yourself to stop caring, because willpower doesn't work against a dopamine-driven system any more than it works against a craving. Here's the technique that targets the actual mechanism, not just the surface behavior. Starve the intermittent reinforcement. Every time you check their profile or reread an old message, you're pulling the slot machine lever again, teaching your brain the game is still active. Remove access, mute, unfollow, delete the thread, whatever it takes to stop the possibility of a random, unpredictable hit of attention. This will feel unbearable for about 2 weeks. That's not a sign you're doing it wrong. That's your dopamine system going through actual withdrawal. And withdrawal always gets worse before it gets quiet. Loving someone who can't love you back doesn't mean you're desperate or broken in a way other people aren't. It means you have a nervous system that learned a long time ago that love was something you had to chase to deserve. Real love, the kind worth staying for, tends to feel less like a slot machine and more like solid ground. Quieter, steadier, less thrilling in the moment, far more sustaining over time. None of us chose the templates we were given, but we do get to choose what we do with that knowledge now. So, is there someone in your life right now who fits this pattern? Share where you find yourself in the comments. I read everyone. If this helped you understand even a small part of why you can't just switch this off, share it with someone stuck loving someone who can't love them back the way they deserve. Don't forget to subscribe so we can keep exploring the patterns running quietly underneath your life. Take care of that heart of yours. See you in the next video.